These are some studies of the really majestic albatrosses that Edward Wilson made, accompanying Captain Scott on both of his expeditions, those of Discovery in 1901 and the Terra Nova expedition in 1910. And they're a really exciting part of the collection that we have here at the Scott Polar Research Institute. What they do is give us a very strong sense of the species that they were encountering on both expeditions. So he is really looking at these birds. They occasionally did capture them and were actually able to draw from life in detail. What he's able to do, I think, is to give us some real sense of the kind of the grace and the power of these birds in flight, as well as the kind of close-up detail. So we see mouths agape, detailed studies of feet and that sort of thing. Sadly, of course, Wilson perished with Scott on that famous trek back from the South Pole in 1912. And the extraordinary thing is, of course, that most of his sketchbooks were still back at the base camp and were brought back with the expedition kit. And most of them are actually hidden away in our archives in storage in cool and dark conditions, so that they're not faded. They're very fragile, and very occasionally we do put them out on public display. But the fact that we have them available digitally means that they can be brought to a much wider audience. Of course, the albatross is one of those extraordinarily well-known birds. It has a kind of iconic status in the public imagination. And we're currently working with scientists at the British Antarctic Survey to try and understand rather more about their life cycle and their breeding habits and the way that they actually use the currents around the Antarctic in these extraordinary extended periods of flight. And they are really magnificent, wonderful creatures, and we really do need to know rather more about them than we do at present. So the current scientific study is very, very important.